How's it going, everybody? Today, Montage here, bringing you guys a new video, a new topic about these two games, Bloodborne and Dark Souls, as you can see in the title, because we're going to talk about the major differences of Bloodborne and Dark Souls and what makes the games easy and hard. Because everyone just keeps talking about that Bloodborne is easier than Dark Souls or harder than Dark Souls, and to me, I think it's easier than Dark Souls. Bloodborne definitely was easier than Dark Souls in general. From 1, 2, and 3, to me it feels easy. Not by a landslide, not by a huge difference, but some difference that you will see, that you can feel just from playing from switching it off from Bloodborne to Dark Souls. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about all the things, the limits of Dark Souls compared to Bloodborne, and the enemies, and all the different fighting types of the game. So we're going to start with the equip load of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Compared to those two, Bloodborne does not have an equip load. Dark Souls does though. And with that, makes you slow, normal speed, or fast. But it always comes in consequences. There's armor that can lower your equip load by a crap ton, and there's armor that can make your equip load so high up that it can be extremely slow and fat, and you cannot dodge as well as you normally would with a low amount of armor. And that's the problem, because you have a low amount of armor, then you can easily die quick from any enemy. Doesn't matter weak or strong. That you will die once they hit you, but you will be fast and agile, just like the characters in Bloodborne. Because in Bloodborne, there's no equip load, but almost anything you wear will make you quick and agile. There's nothing heavy in Bloodborne. There's nothing heavy at all. You're just quick. You're running around. You're shooting. You're murdering enemies. And even your attack speed is extremely fast. In Dark Souls, your attack speed for any weapon you pick up has a different amount of speed itself. The axes are medium size. They're like medium attack speed. The swords, like the long swords, regular swords, they're quick and agile. The huge javelins, the spears, the giant axes, the hammers, you're extremely slow, but they do a ton of damage. You have to just time your hits right. With Bloodborne though, every weapon you get, there is barely an attack speed difference. And the best thing about that is, with Dark Souls, you have to be a certain character to fight. With Dark Souls, as I mean by that is, if you want to make a knight, you have to focus on some of the knight stats. Or if you want to be a long-range character, like fight from long range and not get hit, you need a spear and a bow, all this stuff like that. And if you want to be a close-range character, you're going to need some axes and hammer, something that's close range. But that's the opposite with Bloodborne, because the weapons you have can do both long range and short range just by a click of a button. And then you got a gun that shoots from far range as well. And that just makes it easy because you can parry from far away and not have to worry about getting hit in the face compared to what you do with a shield. If you try to do a parry in front of an enemy that's in front of you, and if you miss, you're gonna die because he can do a combo on you. You will not expect it, or you lose a lot of health. It all depends. Bloodborne though, since you have range from your gun to avoid the parry, avoid an attack, you parry them and you can get them right there, and they do tons of damage. And if you miss, it doesn't matter because they still get stunned, or you just dodge and do it again. Now, I also want to talk about the stats of Bloodborne and Dark Souls. The stats are kind of different. They're not majorly different, but as you can see, the stats in Dark Souls and Bloodborne are different enough to tell which one it is and what's easier to keep track of. And here's the Dark Souls stats. See how there's more stuff to keep track of, more defenses and things to level up. And then with Bloodborne, there's gonna be something a little much different. Like right now, you're gonna see Bloodborne stats, and there's not a lot of stuff compared to what Dark Souls gives you. And there's more upgrades you can have in Bloodborne than Dark Souls. So that's the thing with that, because with the stats in Bloodborne, anything you upgrade, you're constantly upgrading your strength and health. The two main aspects of Bloodborne. Dark Souls, you're constantly upgrading your health, endurance, and stamina. My bad. Sorry, I corrected myself on there. I messed up badly, but I hope you can forgive me on that. Health, stamina, attack, speed, dexterity, luck, your defense, almost anything you gotta keep track of. Your resistances, because even magic, you gotta be upgrading your magic, you get resistances of magic. Bloodborne, there's barely any of that. In Bloodborne, all the enemies you fight don't have any powers to take you down as quick as these enemies. In Dark Souls, you got enemies that will always give you bleeding, curses, frost, fire, lightning. Almost every enemy is unique in Dark Souls. But in Bloodborne though, I'm not saying they're everywhere, but almost every enemy you fight were beasts, and all they did was just attack you normally. You didn't get bleeding damage, you didn't get poison damage, you didn't get lightning or anything else like that. You just got hit a lot, and that's literally the only thing you have to worry about, just not get hit too much. Dark Souls though, there are enemies that will constantly curse you, freeze you to death, burn you to death, fucking light you to death, all this stuff and magic. It's too much stuff to keep track of, and then that's what makes Dark Souls so hard, because your armor doesn't always protect you from that. Well, Bloodborne's armor does, because Bloodborne's armor has a huge balance of every defense that can help you live. Dark Souls though, no. Every armor you choose, there's a certain amount of defense that you have to get just to live. And that's what made it super difficult for Dark Souls and Bloodborne, because Bloodborne had a huge balance, and Dark Souls didn't really have that balance of all these defenses to live from. And like I said, like those differences are there. That's what makes the game more unique, much more easier, because Bloodborne, you don't need to worry about those stats dragging you down because you have a huge balance of it. Dark Souls though, each armor you get will have a different amount of stats, and each armor you pick up will definitely help you save a life from different areas of enemies. Because like I said, every area is unique with enemies, because the next area could be enemies who focus mostly on poison or curse or lightning or anything else like that. They have a huge amount of attack power, and you gotta wear armor that increases your defense, but you will be slow. It's a huge difference on that. And the speed of Dark Souls is also different. You're agile as fuck in Bloodborne. And in Dark Souls, you're not, because you need that armor to protect yourself. But if you increase your equip load, you will, but that takes time. You're wasting a lot of level ups to get that equip load, because then you're missing out on your strength and the health and the stamina. Bloodborne, nah, you're fast. You're super fast. You're like a ninja. You're literally a ninja with a saw cleaver in his hand with a gun. That's agile as fuck and can kill almost anything. If you put these guys up into a fucking fist fight, the Bloodborne character will win, because he's fast and agile as hell, dude. He kills everything with major speed and without a single fucking problem. And that's the difference with Bloodborne and Dark Souls there. And then you got the upgrade system is a little different. Like to me, like the enemies feel like they give you more HP in Bloodborne than in Dark Souls, because Dark Souls has so many areas that each enemy doesn't give you as much souls compared to what Bloodborne does, and they don't give you a lot of EXP in Dark Souls than in Bloodborne. So it's like it's kind of different there on the level up system, of course. And the bosses, don't get me wrong, the Bloodborne did give me challenges that were extremely difficult, that made you say, that's definitely software fucking up your life, that's definitely them. But compared to Dark Souls, almost every boss from Dark Souls is unique and totally different than the bosses in Bloodborne, because almost all the bosses in Bloodborne just wanted to beat the shit out of you with their bare hands and swords and fists and claws. That's basically it. In Dark Souls, almost every boss fight had fire damage or something different, magic damage, and tons of different types of stuff and statuses to kill you with, and it's just you couldn't know what to do. You had to figure it out. It was a huge problem, and even better too, the fucking Estus flasks and the blood shards, the blood vials. You had 20 of those fuckers, man. And the more you level up your health, the more you get back. And with Estus flasks, that's impossible, because the more health you get back, the less health you get if you don't find undead bone shards or Estus shards to increase the amount of Estus flasks you have. You start out with 3, goddammit. Has no one not realized that? How you start out with 3 in the fucking game? Blood, when you start out with 20. Does no one not realize the difference of that? I'm sorry if I'm just yelling out like an idiot right now, but there's a huge difference on how much health you can get back and how much health you can regenerate in Dark Souls and Bloodborne. And on Bloodborne, if you get hit and lose the amount of that small little health bar, you just keep hitting it back to get, because the blood from them gives you health back. So unlike this game, they hit you once, you can't get your health back by hitting them. Like that big old fucking hit right there. If this was Bloodborne, I probably could get my health back by hitting you right now, but I can't, because it's not Bloodborne. With Bloodborne, they hit me, I can beat the shit out of them and get my health back. Beat the crap out of them, health is back. Easier said than done. No problem whatsoever. And the enemies in Dark Souls have a little much more unique powers and attacks than in Bloodborne. So that's the end of the video. That's all the major differences in Dark Souls and Bloodborne. Thank you all for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, spread the news, spread the love, spread the sexiness all around. I'm David Montage, and I'll catch you all in the next video.